February might be short on days, but we're long on deals at Guatney Chevrolet. Get behind the wheel of a 2024 Chevrolet Trax for as low as $299 a month, or take up to $13,500 off a brand new 2025 Chevrolet Silverado. We have cars in stock as low as $3,999. But hurry, these deals won't last forever. Save big before the end of the month. Visit us at 1301 TP White Drive in Jacksonville today. Chevrolet, together, let's drive. With approved credit restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
Companies are shifting their telephone systems to the cloud, and you should too. ESI eCloud PBX has everything you need. Features like work from anywhere, video calls, and advanced security tools make ESI eCloud PBX one of the best choices for any business. Opt out of the high cost of your traditional phone system and move to the cloud. Sign up for an online demo at nsgdv.com and get your system activated at no charge.
Network Services Group. One call does it all.
we spent a lot of time on this show talking about Arkansas, but I really do think Alabama's quality was the story. Alabama's ability to get to the rim and cause those problems was the story. For Arkansas, the story was that while they didn't win the game, they did figure out a bit better how to play when they got in foul trouble. We hadn't seen a game where they were this competitive without Boogie in a game where they had foul trouble. Because when you lose Boogie, you're basically playing you are playing an 8-man rotation, right? Play 8 guys across the board. Davis, Thero, Knox, Wagner, Vicic, Brazil, Adu, and Richmond. And, I think what stood out to me on that front was the fact that they had Richmond guarding Mark Sears, the preseason SEC Player of the Year. They had Richmond checking him, not just in crunch time, but a majority of the time that he's in. He is a lunatic in the best possible way. This guy just has insane energy. He's got great length. Now, he did end up kind of killing himself a bit. It was a hamstring or whatever it was late in the game. But it's because the energy was there. And look, Bama is playing a quality of basketball that is, like an NBA team. I mean, they were hunting for a switch on every ball screen. Our morning mayhem group chat between Roger Scott, David Basil, Justin Moore, and myself was very active during this game. And a big part of that activity was we were talking about those switches. And a suggestion that Justin Moore made, and I fully agree with, is, and this is really hard to do, but when you were switching ball screens, if it's Z, he needs to yell like stay, because they got that switch all the time. Z had a couple good possessions, but to break that 12-0 run Arkansas had late in the game, you had a Mark Sears uncontested layup, and I think Z was afraid of, obviously, of fouling there, late in the game. But I still think that, they got that switch a lot, and they were effective in limiting Sears. I mean, he's 5 for 12, so not like the worst night, not the best night ever. But they were relatively effective, and he had 6 turnovers too in that category. But that felt like a mismatch, and I don't know about you all. I kind of tensed up whenever I saw those two in a one-on-one situation. Bama's so good at creating space and allowing Sears to then operate in that space. So I do believe that was a well orchestrated effort there from Nate Oates. But man, I thought the Hogs were discombobulated, if you want to. They were they were not in their rhythm, but they were still able to make this game close. And like most Cal teams, they've gotten so much better because a month ago, this thing would have fallen way, way out of hand if they had not been as well coached as they were. And they stayed in the game and they kept fighting. I think what I would say is when it got bad, they didn't know how to fight the right ways. But late, they just kind of put their heads down. And Cal made that point post-game. He made the point after the game saying, yeah, if we play hard, like we're going to be in the game, but we can't wait till we're getting kicked in the tail to start getting to that point. And I fully agree with that. I think it's a fair assessment. I think what you can say now, though, is that when they do get kicked in the teeth, they do have a response. I mean, Billy Richmond played 26 minutes, but 9 points, 4 boards doesn't really tell the story of how good he was. The 4 fouls, I think, tells the story in a positive way. He was there to be physical. He was ready for the fight, man. He was absolutely ready for the fight. I love that about him. I love that. And then Zvonimir Vicic, for a guy who had 27 points and 7 rebounds, 2 assists, he played about as well and about as bad as you could. But we mentioned this before in previous post-game shows, and other shows on this channel have mentioned it as well, is that there are moments where you want to throw whatever object is next to you at the screen, whether it's a beverage, whether it's a replica baseball sitting next to you, whatever it is, coaster. You want to throw it at the screen when you watch him play, a couple ill-advised threes. But then he had that step-back theory where you see the ability, you see the skill, you see the talent level. He kept him in the game. And he's there for the fight. He's not as physical, but he's there for the fight in the ways that he knows how to. And I looked at his numbers tonight, and I accidentally clicked too far into his profile. But you still realize that he's listed as a freshman. I mean, his first year was last year. and he was hurt at Kentucky and then only ended up playing like 12 minutes a game. So Richmond and Avicic are two guys who are still learning how to play the game of basketball at this high level. At times they show that, but they learned a lot tonight. Like I really felt like they learned a lot and they got better as players tonight. And Richmond with just a hammer of a dunk late in the game. And that brings me to what I want to get to before we go to the phone lines, is that just not knowing what to do, but like, man, just going downhill and getting that dunk, and the crowd responded. And Arkansas, they would cut it to 14, and Bud Walton erupted. They cut it to 10. There was 3:57 to go, and the crowd erupted, and they were behind them. And I think the crowd is still behind them. Tuesday night, they will not get this atmosphere. But if you go on Tuesday night, and you should go on Tuesday night if you have tickets, the crowd needs to be behind them, because that's a big LSU game coming up. Like, you got A&M and Auburn next in the road. The crowd needs to be at a level that is going to help push this team to this is a must-win game on Tuesday against the LSU Tigers, Wednesday, whenever it is. I've actually checked it's Wednesday. It's Wednesday. I just realized my calendar, viewing it in my head. But that's a must-win game. Crowd needs to be there because you got two really hard games coming up after that. Go to the phone lines here. I'm going to guess it's Toby. Might not be right.
You got it right.
There it is. There's my guy, Toby. Toby, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing good, my friend. What about yourself?
You know what? For a loss, not too bad, right?
You know what? Honestly, I was feeling a little down. And then when they came back like they did, I don't really feel that bad anymore. I really don't. Because, as you said, actually, he had a chance to win that game. And now Big Z, and like I said, sometimes he plays as good as he can play and then as bad as he can play. But like when we got it down, when he hit the end of that, those two shots, and then had he hit both of those shots, we'd have been within one, and then we had an opportunity to get the rebound. But it went out on him, and so then Thero let a guy come in and get a rebound that he shouldn't have. But all in all, honestly, like you said, they're still learning. Billy Richmond, man, when he hit that dunk, the place went wild. I'm telling you. But you're right. The game we got coming up with LSU, it's going to be a tough one, but we have just got to have it. And so the guys, I don't feel nearly as bad, okay?
I'm with you on that one, man. I always appreciate you calling and listening to the postgame show. Yeah, so he's still a bit gawky, that Big Z is, right? I mean, that rebound, they miss it and they give you a chance, but like the crowd was kind of like, but they weren't like super angry, at least from what I could tell, because it was just, this guy's 7'2", he's trying to track down the ball and it goes out of bounds and he's got 27 points. So, I mean, how mad can you kind of be at him for that? And I think I'm right there with you about how that went down. We'll have more about the game here coming up. 501-661-1037. That's the D3 Auto Sales text line. Sound should be all good now on YouTube. Like the video there. Also, X, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch are the locations at which this show is taking place. Once again, Arkansas Falls 85-81. More on the Arkansas Basketball Postgame Show here on 103.7 The Buzz. Coming up next.
Hey, it's Brooke here, and at Chris Crane Hyundai, we've got a huge selection of pre-loved vehicles like never before. Late models loaded with new technology? Check. Payments to fit any budget? Check. Silverados, Civics, Broncos, and more. Check, check, check. Banks that love to say yes? You know it.
Our pre-loved inventory has never been better than now. Come visit your friends at Chris Crane Hyundai on Museum Road in Conway and online at chriscranehyundai.com.
Hey guys, it's Dee Dee from Ava Bella Day Spa. Valentine's Day is right around the corner, and we have this special for all of you lovebirds. How about a romantic indulgent spa package, the 60-minute massage, and a lotion candle? That's our signature candles that the wax turns into lotion, all for $100. Plus, we have the Glow of Love, Forever Yours, and we also have memberships this year. Just go to avabellaDayspa.com and choose what you like, order your gift card, and give it to your Valentine. Or come on in and get that complimentary candle. avabellaDayspa.com.
Let's face it, getting old isn't fun. But at Edwards Food Giant, aging isn't a bad thing. Introducing dry-aged beef from Edwards, where their expert butchers will let whole cuts of certified Angus beef age for 28 days in their cooler as temperature and humidity are controlled to create the perfect environment for aging. The result is a steak that is tender, flavorful, and unlike any steak you've ever had. Bring the flavor of a 5-star steakhouse to your dinner table with dry-aged beef from Edwards. Available at their new store in North Little Rock and coming soon to an Edwards Food Giant near you.
Jones & Son Diamond Bridal and Fine Jewelry along with 103.7 The Buzz have your chance to win a Valentine's Day prize package, including 2 tickets to Ballet Arkansas's Romeo and Juliet, a $200 gift certificate for Author's Prime Steakhouse, and a massage package from Ava Bella Day Spa. To register, go to 1037thebuzz.com and fill out the online form. Win a Valentine's Day date package from Jones & Son Diamond Bridal and Fine Jewelry and 1037 The Buzz.
This is a story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Fabric
Talk. Hello, my love. I am your living room carpet. I see everything. I feel everything. After a while, I smell like everything, including Sir Pickles, who you snuggle with while binging that dating show you can't stop watching. So, how about we freshen things up with Febreze Fabric Spray? Oh, and a big spray for my pals, couch and ottoman. Ah, yes, refreshing. Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la.
Some vehicles are simply made. Cadillac vehicles are made to be iconic. And whether that's being made to be vibrant in an all-electric Lyriq, made to be epic in a luxurious Escalade, or made to be thrilling with the dynamic performance of CT4 and CT5, Cadillac is always made to be bold. Because icons aren't just born, they're made. Visit your local Cadillac showroom today.
Hey, it's Brooke here, and at Chris Crane Hyundai, we've got a huge selection of pre-log vehicles like never before. Late models loaded with new technology? Check. Payments to fit any budget? Check. Silverados, Civics, Broncos, and more. Check, check, check. Banks that love to say yes? You know it.
Our pre-loved inventory has never been better than now. Come visit your friends at Chris Crane Hyundai on Museum Road in Conway and online at chriscranehyundai.com.
Let's get down to business.
Get down to it. Tough night for the Hogs. 85-81 the score of tonight's game. Alabama beats Arkansas. This is the Arkansas basketball postgame show on 103.7 The Buzz. I'm your host, Josh Neighbors. 501-661-1037. That's where you all can find us on the D3 Auto Sales text line. You can also call into the show. We encourage you to do that. My guy, the bowling league gentleman, who everybody told me was not under the influence the other night. It kind of sounded like it. But he called in last time and said, hey, I didn't watch the game. It was at bowling league, won the bet. I would love to hear from him again. I think it was Greg was his name. Greg, call us. Also, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, X, all the places you guys can find us. So this is something interesting I just thought about during the break. And I'm in here solo. I like it when I have people around me I can bounce the ideas off of. But, you know, Alabama's such a weird challenge because they bank on the idea that, look, let's play up and down and we'll make more threes and layups than you will. And we saw a lot of that whenever Arkansas made a shot. They pushed it and got an easy shot themselves. Arkansas at the beginning of the game was playing a slower pace, which I thought off the top, hey, this is what way you want to play it. But they don't play as free and loose when they don't just get up and down. Their half-court offense can be good. They can make shots in the half-court, but it just felt like because they had guys get in early foul trouble, this was not as fluid as it typically is for the Hogs. So, I don't know. I mean, I want to know what you all think about the pacing-wise. Like, because Kentucky plays up and down, and Arkansas obliged them last week, and they beat them basically pillar to post. They got in front, and then in the second half, they were wire to wire leading that game. So, Pacing-wise, I don't know. Maybe this Hogs team should run the floor a bit more. I always get hesitant about that when you've got 8-man rotation. But maybe that's how the Hogs are better, because they were fast and loose and free in that late portion of the second half, and they were really, really good. Adu Theros, let's speak to the foul trouble. He was in trouble, but the trouble happened with those few fouls, because the rest of the time he was on the floor, 22 points, 6 boards, and 2 assists in 24 minutes of action tonight. That is a pretty substantial way. It's a pretty substantial effort when he's in the game. You see what a difference maker that guy is, and his shot making is getting better. He's confident with the basketball shooting, even now at the 3-point line. He's taking and making deep twos and three. I don't love deep twos, but man, you've got to guard that guy everywhere. Everywhere he was 1 for 1 for 3 tonight, by the way, 5 of 6 from the line. So he's effective in all 3 phases. I'm going to check here and see it maybe in the break, because it's hard to do live, what his numbers are across the board this season, because shooting-wise, let's see, I got it now. So he's 57% from the floor. He is 70% from the free throw line, and then 24 from 3. I'd like to see that. Let's see. Let's go conference. He's been even worse in conference, 3-point wise. So he's running the same ranges, but he's been more effective at least the last few games. I'd like to see, because post boogie, I feel like that those numbers are a lot different. So I'd like to see what he is post boogie with the numbers shooting wise across the board, because it feels like his game is just getting better and better. And when he was in tonight, it was very, very strong. DJ Wagner, tonight for him, this was not a banner game. He had 8 points on 1 of 6 shooting. He was perfect from the line, and I had 9 assists. But this was not an excellent night for him scoring wise. Thought Bama did a good job on defense with him. The 2 stars obviously were Thero and then Avicic. All right, let's go to the D3 Auto Sales text line. We got one with the 501. Hey Josh, that's the way Bud sounded during the Nolan years. It's like the 6th man on the floor. Yeah, once again, the crowd was a star. I've been a bit critical of the crowd, but for Arkansas, the crowd was one of the stars, because they were so behind the team. And this is a point that Justin Moore made. He said, I'm not thrilled with the performance, but I'm okay with it. And last year, a lot of these post-game shows we'd be doing, I was not okay with the way that team rolled over. And not everybody on the team rolled over, but there were a lot of guys who felt like they rolled over. They didn't feel, not just rolled over, but they weren't committed to finding solutions to the problems that were being asked by other teams. And that could even be like a coaching standpoint. I always mention the Vanderbilt game last year where Vandy goes zone and Arkansas just had no answers. They were up 10, and they just got dog walked the rest of the way. No answers. This team is so willing to say, we'll do whatever. Is it Billy Richmond? Billy's got the answer. Zavonimir, do you have the answer? Cal is willing to say, all right, well, this is what we got. Let's find an answer. And the crowd obliged that. The crowd said, we appreciate the way this team is scratching, clawing, and fighting. And I hope the crowd keeps meeting them at that point, because they're going to need that crowd the rest of the way. Think about what they've got left on the home front, right? On that home schedule for them, because they've got the 2 road games we know against A&M and against Auburn, but they've got LSU at home. Critical game. Do not drop that one on Wednesday. Missouri at home on the 22nd. Huge opportunity. I know Missouri went 0 for 2 this week, but I think they lost both games by a combined 6 points against 2 top 10 teams. They got Texas at home as well. They got Mississippi State at home as well. So at this point in time, the rest of the way, Arkansas has 3 tournament teams and then LSU. So, which is maybe the most important out of all of those. Massive the crowd is this good. Let's see, we've got a good job on the post-game show. Let's see, why do we toss up bad angle shots consistently inside 8 feet, not deflected? we need to know more what you mean. Maybe if you have certain shots in mind that you're speaking of about bad angled shots. I don't necessarily know about that. Look, this is actually another point, Justin. Justin was on one today. Justin had a lot of great points. Justin Moore did. He said they need a back to the basket big who can score. I'm not sure how many teams have the back to the basket big, but I think about guys like Grant Williams, Grant Nelson, and use those guys. The two Grants, like guys who are just like gritty, dirty. Mitchell last year. Mitchell was really good around the rim. Not a huge guy, but really effective in short range. Yes, this Arkansas team could 100% use a guy who is consistently effective in short range. That is a post player, right? That provides not a guy like Thiero who can get to the rim and score, but a guy who is around the rim, who can do the things like offensive rebound, make other guys just work their tails off to get boards, whether it be offensive or defensive, and also score with the back to the basket. Kind of all of that package all the way together, because right now it doesn't feel like they've got a guy who asks those questions. 501-661-1037 is the number. We'll take a break here. We'll come back. Talk more about Arkansas's loss tonight. No loss is good, but this one, justifiable, I guess you could say, with the loss tonight. Josh Neighbors here, 501-661-1037. Also on Twitter, at 1037TheBuzz. I'm at Josh Neighbors _. Be right back.
It's Brooke here, and at Chris Crane Hyundai, we've got a huge selection of pre-log vehicles like never before. Late models loaded with new technology? Check. Payments to fit any budget? Check. Silverados, Civics, Broncos, and more. Check, check, check. Banks that love to say yes? You know it.
Our pre-loved inventory has never been better than now. Come visit your friends at Chris Crane Hyundai on Museum Road in Conway and online at chriscranehyundai.com.
Let's face it, getting old isn't fun. But at Edwards Food Giant, aging isn't a bad thing. Introducing dry-aged beef from Edwards, where their expert butchers will let whole cuts of certified Angus beef age for 28 days in their cooler as temperature and humidity are controlled to create the perfect environment for aging. The result is a steak that is tender, flavorful, and unlike any steak you've ever had. Bring the flavor of a 5-star steakhouse to your dinner table with dry-aged beef from Edwards. Available at their new store in North Little Rock and coming soon to an Edwards Food Giant near you.
Some vehicles are simply made. Cadillac vehicles are made to be iconic. And whether that's being made to be vibrant in an all-electric Lyriq, made to be epic in a luxurious Escalade, or made to be thrilling with the dynamic performance of CT4 and CT5. Cadillac is always made to be bold. Because icons aren't just born, they're made. Visit your local Cadillac showroom today.
The name says it all, and you'll find Honda's best models at Honda of North Little Rock, as they're your one-stop destination for quality motorcycles, ATVs, and side-by-sides. If you have a passion for adventure, head on over to Honda of North Little Rock, as they cater to both thrill seekers and outdoor enthusiasts. Whether you're hitting the trails, cruising the roads, or exploring rugged terrain, we'll find the perfect ride for you. Nothing matches Honda's power, reliability, and innovation. Honda of North Little Rock, your family fun headquarters.
The man known for creating sports awards has finally earned his own. The entire Buzz team would like to congratulate our own David Basil on being named the Arkansas Sports Broadcaster of the Year by the National Sports Media Association. David, thank you for your passion and hard work on Morning Mayhem and your many other endeavors. And you can catch the Arkansas Sports Broadcaster of the Year along with Roger, Justin, and Josh right here on the Buzz on Morning Mayhem, weekdays from 6 to 10. Congrats, Baz, and here's to a great 2025.
Hey, it's Brooke here, and at Chris Crane Hyundai, we've got a huge selection of pre-log vehicles like never before. Late models loaded with new technology? Check. Payments to fit any budget? Check. Silverados, Civics, Broncos, and more. Check, check, check. Banks that love to say yes? You know it.
Our pre-loved inventory has never been better than now. Come visit your friends at Chris Crane Hyundai on Museum Road in Conway and online at chriscranehyundai.com.
Arkansas basketball postgame show here on 103.7 The Buzz. I'm your host, Josh Neighbors. 501-661-1037 is the way that you guys can get in touch with us on the D3 Auto Sales text line. Also, call the show as well at that number. Appreciate you all for the support. Also, Facebook, X, Twitch, and YouTube. Like the video in those places. Thumbs up, whatever the thing is on all those places. So, also, I want to thank you guys for your support. We weren't sure we were going to do the post-game shows. I said, you know what, let's do it. I want to do them. I love basketball, love hoops, love Arkansas hoops. Let's do it. And we've gotten some really kind messages about the show. It's really cool to be able to provide a part of the Arkansas basketball experience for you all. So it's cool when people like, Drew Glover from Natural State Wholesale, he and his son watches the games, and they also listen to the show. My dad and I used to watch games, listen to podcasts, stuff like that. So it's cool to be a part of whatever your game day experience is. I appreciate that so much. It's kind of why we do this stuff. So I appreciate you guys doing that and listening and all the folks who are out there watching and listening. So Toby, I always appreciate Toby for calling in. Even the Bowling League gentleman, we appreciate him as well. So once again, 501-661-1037 is the way you can get in touch with us. My dad wanted me to make sure I made this point. About Bama. Yes, Bama will be the number one team come Monday. That's not a place they are unfamiliar with. That is what Nate Oates has built. I'm not sure there's much to question about Nate Oates at this point. Look at Jonesboro, Arkansas. Arkansas State has taken a Nate Oates assistant, and they have turned I'm not sure dormant or whatever word other folks would know better than me, but whatever word you want to use to describe the Arkansas State program, a Nate Oates disciple has taken that mindset, that style, and applied it to Arkansas State and kind of made it his own a bit, but they've been very successful. This is a great coach. This is an excellent coach. I don't feel like Cal got out-coached tonight, though, and that's not been the case. Against Ole Miss, I thought he did. Against Florida, I thought he did. Against Tennessee, you could say he was. But I don't think out-coached. Because when Billy Richmond is asked to step up and play 26 minutes, he answered that bell. And he said, I didn't hear no bell. He kept getting up, man, and kept fighting and scratching and clawing. So much to the point where a guy who hasn't played a lot of minutes was one-on-one with Mark Sears, the preseason player of the year, and they wanted to get him out of it. And that's the guy Cal trusted. He said, Billy, we've got Nelly out there. We've got DJ Wagner out there. We got to do it in foul trouble, so probably not him as much. We're going to trust you to be the guy who guards the ball. Okay? This is, even though this was a loss, you can't argue that there was no maturation from the Arkansas team. I thought Billy grew up some, man. I thought he grew up in a big way. That was a man's jam. That was a man's jam, in the words of Ian Eagle, that he had late in the game to keep them rolling, keep them going. He shot the ball with confidence, man. That step back two that he had on the right side, that was an and one, pure mid-range jumper. Does he look like a gazelle in the lights sometimes? Yes, so does he and Z. But Z had 27 tonight. 5 of 9 from 3. 10 of 18 from the floor. 7 boards, 2 assists. So I think that there were still some guys that grew up a bit tonight. I think Z maybe at times felt like he had to be the offense. I would encourage him to maybe take less jumpers and maybe let's shoot a few more free throws, brother. That's not been a strong suit of him. He was 2 for 4 tonight. I think he's 61% is what Tom Hart said during the year. So that's where I'd keep working. But this team, I think, still got better tonight. I don't think you can watch the effort, because I was a bit worried there in the early stages of the second half that this Arkansas team maybe wasn't getting better tonight. They proved me wrong. I'll put my hand up and say I was wrong. They got better tonight because other guys stepped up. I don't think you'll see Adu in foul trouble that much. I don't think you'll see Wagner with another 1 for 6. And also, on a night where he was 1 for 6, 9 assists. I mean, he almost had a double-double. He's 1 basket away and 1 assist away from double-double. So still impacting the game positively. I didn't love Nelly's performance tonight, but here's the thing. I hold him to a very high standard. I think we all do, because we know what he's capable of, whether it's FAU performance or his performance the last couple games. So I didn't love that. But that's just because we know he can be such a good player. So I think that's my big takeaway. Guys still grew up tonight. Guys got better tonight. They're about to be asked a lot of questions starting on Tuesday because that LSU team, they're deflated, but they could be motivated. Arkansas needs to come out, put their foot on the gas pedal, and say, all right, here we come. We're going to make sure we take care of business at home. Because I checked this today. Jerry Palm of CBS Sports, who besides Joe Lunardi is probably he's the foremost bracketologist besides Joe Lunardi. CBS obviously has a lot of tournament coverage. They are the tournament home. Jerry Palm had him in. Today, Jerry Palm had Arkansas playing BYU. Doesn't really matter who they're playing, but he had them in the tournament. This didn't hurt that too much. I mean, road teams had a good day today. Road teams had a great day today across the entire country. So I don't think it's too bad of a loss. But I think that kind of puts the onus on Tuesday. Because right now, there are no quad 3 or quad 4 losses on the Arkansas resume. I don't know where LSU sits right now in the net, but take care of Tuesday night. I don't care if it's a quad 2 win. Just don't let it be a quad 2, quad 3, quad 4 loss. Because there are no obscene blemishes right now on the Arkansas resume. Keep it that way. D3 Auto Sales text line. Let's see. We've got Betty from Grant County who says, watch after every game. We always appreciate that. Thank you so much, Betty. I'm glad you stay with us. I know these games are late, guys. We're grinding out these 8 p.m. starts, and there is little end in sight. So I appreciate you all hanging with us on all of these. 501-661-1037 is how you guys can get in touch with our shows. Fishing Arkansas tomorrow. I'm sure Bill Vickery will have some thoughts tomorrow. Morning Mayhem will have thoughts. The Zone will have thoughts. Out of Bounds will have thoughts. And as will Drive Time Sports. So leave those comments and we'll get to them over the course of the next week. This is the Arkansas Basketball Postgame Show. Arkansas falls against Alabama 85-81. Make sure you catch us next time, the LSU game. Get to one more YouTube comment very quickly. Josh, I think Jonas is a bust. I think he's hurt. You see an older guy like that, and he was trying to get himself from the game tonight. Shot a couple J's, didn't make them, but tried to, and actually I appreciate that. I appreciate a guy who wants to, you can tell he wants it. He wants it badly. So hopefully Jonas can get himself healthy, but Z at that big spot right now is kind of the answer in my opinion. All right, folks, we're out of here. Thanks for joining us. Back next game.
As of Saturday afternoon, they have Luka Doncic and LeBron James on the bench while Austin Reeves led them to a win against the Indiana Pacers. And then they got some bad